And yo, it's Grapsody with Will, Phil, and Reg, trying to keep it real instead of what you usually get from these talking heads. It's Grapsody, we're here to fill the void. 3 black fans, different perspective, got to fill your voice. Coming with the podcast, talking majors, indies in between. Yeah, it's all that, and we're down with Fightful, better fall back. Coming for respect, we connect like a ball bat. No need to double check, these are all facts. You're listening to us talk raps. You're listening to us talk raps. Will, Phil, and Reg. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps.
Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk graps.
Yeah, that's dope. I like that.
Hey, and it's a little bit different here today. A lot of bit different here today. Welcome to Grapsody, by the way. I'm Will Washington, alongside Mr. Philip Lindsey.
Reporting live from St. Louis. We are in the building.
We are in the building, and like really in the building. I am right here in St. Louis. Literally, I can see the arch right outside my window. And when I say right outside my window, I mean, hold up. I got to show this real quick.
Look at this.
Hold up. Look at this. Look at this. Literally.
I won't get up and show you guys the brick wall that my camera's facing.
Literally right outside the window.
Yo, I think if you looked really close, you could see Murphy Lee down there. Just like, yo, man, you are in the blue for sure.
And Righteous Reg is here too.
Double R in the building. Welcome. It's Saturday morning. Your favorite writer, your favorite rapper, your favorite podcaster in the building. What's up, y'all? Like, this is crazy. We out here. The homies are in St. Louis. They about to watch the Royal Rumble. It's going down.
Yeah, it's we're here for the Royal Rumble. The fever is in the air. So the hotel that I'm currently in, by the way, shout out to Hannah Moore, in that she picked me up from the airport as we talked about last week, and she did so without a goddamn coat. Where is that child's coat? Because it is cold. It is biting cold. Because, like, here's the thing. I'm from Denver, right? So, as you can see, repping my Denver hoodie. I'm from Denver. It's cold in Denver. But it's like a dry cold, which is not the same as this shit, which is just bitter. And, you know, we landed, and it was like 20 degrees, but it feels like a Denver like 5. Mm-hmm. And of course she shows up in a sleeveless shirt, just like, you know, in Illinois, it's fine.
Not just a sleeveless shirt. She's got like a tank top, midriff is showing. I'm like, what are you doing, man?
Come on, you guys. It's cold outside. People are like blizzarded into their houses. And she's just like, no, give me a tank top. We out here.
Yeah, no, I wore my big ass winter coat. I'm in a hoodie right now. It is cold. But I will say that the fever is in the air here in St. Louis. Here at the hotel I'm currently staying at is, of course, where most of the WWE talent is.
Oh, have you seen Brandy and Cody there yet? When he sneak peeks, did you see Brandy walking around? Like, I don't know, you might have seen something. Will you be seeing some stuff out there? We know, we have confirmed that you be seeing some stuff.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, I think if you've never been in a you know, a lot of people came down on CM Punk's tweet a couple weeks ago, right, about bothering wrestlers. If you've and people were like, well, you can't just be nice to somebody who's approaching you. And I thought, you have to see it from this perspective, especially at a major event like this at the Royal Rumble. There are fans with just merchandise, just like lined up outside the hotel, just waiting for anybody to walk out. And it's like insane. They're here. They are ready to mob anybody who walks out. And I've seen a couple of wrestlers already. I've seen a couple of people, some who haven't been announced for the Rumble, by the way. But
Cody Rhodes. Just say it.
No.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it either. I want to see it live in action when Cody comes out and wins the Royal Rumble tonight. It's gonna be dope. I can't believe it.
Hit him with that crossroads.
Ooh,
yeah.
Roman's gonna be shaking his boot. Actually, I want him to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Cody and Brock Lesnar is going to be dope.
But this is a really special episode of Grapsody because not only are we in St. Louis, not only are we here for the Royal Rumble, but on the other side of things, we also have a really, really special guest here. And I'm sure people have already noticed because it says it if you're looking at the YouTube, and it was just tweeted. But you know what? I'm going to still keep coy about it. Even right here until it's time.
Who? We have no idea. This is a special guest.
Yeah, this is
super special, insanely special. I can't believe this. I'm gonna try to put words together. Try to be a professional here because, we're gonna be. It's gonna be like in that when Charlie Murphy was describing Rick James. He's like, Rick James shows him there was just an aura around Rick James. That's how it's gonna be very soon. There's gonna be an aura around this person. So. We'll try to get it together. It's going to be great here.
But yeah, even still, with this being a Saturday, with this being Grapsody, still want everybody to know that this is a show where we do read your live super chats. I don't have access to the Humper chats at the moment because I am not at my home setup. I am going to read your super chats, though, guaranteed. We've got a few. Let's see. We got Matt, who said, "Good afternoon, guys. Very excited for Rumble. Saw the For the Culture announcement by GCW. So who's going to have a great show? See y'all in Dallas."
I'm gonna cry.
So who's going to have a great show? It's one of those things where it happens every year, right? Where I'm like, I don't think I'm going to go to Mania. I'm not going to do Mania weekend. And then more stuff keeps getting announced. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to miss For the Culture.
I don't know, man. I might be there.
Son of a bitch. I hate that they announced it. I hate that they're going to keep announcing cool matches. I know they're going to do something. Like, as soon as they announce the first match, I'm there. So, yeah, I'm there. You're going to see me there For the Culture, front row, dancing, hopefully with Too Cold Scorpio for the second year in a row. I really just hope that's what's going on here because that was it. Like I said, last year, best show I've ever been to, so I have to do it again. There's no way I can miss it. Even if I just go for this one show, I'll be good.
Yeah, no way you can miss that. And sorry I cut out there for a sec, hotel Wi-Fi.
Road game performances are tough, man.
I'm saying.
And speaking of which, Van Twinblade says, "That hotel is fancy. Also, go to Crown Candy." Don't know what that means, so elaborate, sir. I'll keep reading.
I'll hit the Googles later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jay Shell asks, "Will you guys be eating beans at the show?"
Come on, Jay Shell.
We should stop and go get some Boston baked beans.
Jay Shell, come on. Don't be helping out with this little agenda that's been thrown upon me since the beginning of this podcast.
We got Wrestling While Black podcast that's sending love and support from the Wrestling While Black podcast. Hey, sending love and support back.
Appreciate you.
Always appreciate you. Zach says, "Finally catching Grapsody live. I am moving from AZ to North Carolina. This will keep me entertained while I drive. Love the content. Keep on keeping on."
That's a hell of a drive. Shout out to Zach. Arizona, very hot to a very different place in North Carolina. I don't know if it's hot out there, but
And Joel says,
shout out.
Joel says, "Will, I can grab them for you." Talking about the Boston baked beans. Joel? No, I mean, here's the thing. As soon as this show is over, I feel like we got some St. Louis exploring to do. I don't know. I've never been to St. Louis ever.
Nah, man. I'm gonna go and get a Phantom of the Opera mask and get the slow mo joint jumping off. We're gonna hit the Midway swing like in the middle of a park somewhere.
It's the Midwest swing.
Hey, it's the 618. Don't perpetrate. No, I even saw the area code 618, and I'm like, man, I know enough rap songs to know where I am now. But anyway, let's see. Myron says, "Is it me or does the Rumble feel like Super Bowl Sunday? There's so much excitement throughout the day of the event, just like the Super Bowl. I mean, honestly, the Rumble to me is my top WWE event. It is the event I look forward to more than anything. It used to be Mania. I feel like when Mania kind of became the part-timer show over the years, the Rumble took over for me. Now, I give credit to last year. Last year's Rumble really did focus on the roster they had. So that's not to say that it's that way now. I don't know if this next one's going to be, but at least, the Rumble for about...
And this Rumble's kind of heavy on the part-timers too, so it's kind of a...
But it's still a fun... It's still one of the most fun events.
It's always fun, yeah.
It's always fun, yeah. The countdowns, like all of it. I will say that when I think about some of my favorite wrestling or WWE moments ever, a lot of them happen in Royal Rumbles. I think that 2005 Rumble, and not just because Vince tore both his quads, although that's hilarious. I do think that 2005 Rumble, just everything surrounding it with like Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle having their first confrontation, like literally ever, that is such a dope moment.
Like I only watched that Royal Rumble for that. I was like, I need that moment so bad, and it paid off.
Yeah. And but then like Batista and John Cena, like both of them as the future, and then it coming down to those two. It's just a great Royal Rumble. But then like 2008 with Cena's return, that's always still amazing to me. And
I always love 2000 just because the undercard's so fire. They have the tables match with the Hardys and the Dudleys. They have the Rumble's crazy. Kai and Taiki's writing out. Takumi Shinoku like busts his mouth.
It has the Too Cool moment.
Yeah, the Too Cool moment. The Rock and Big Show at the end. Really great one.
Yeah. 01 is really good too. Although 01, I have a complaint about 01. I complained about this on Twitter, but for those of you not on Twitter, like I don't like the edit that currently exists on Peacock. And I don't know, did they like destroy the master? Because for whatever reason, they took out Austin's music. He had the Disturbed theme at the time, and it's replaced with his more common theme. But the problem is, in wiping that theme out, they also wiped out the original crowd audio. So like Austin got this like really organic pop at that event. And like when you watch it on Peacock, it just sounds like just generic crowd noise. And I'm like, you ruin the uniqueness of that moment when Austin's music hits, when it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 glass shatter, and it's like it doesn't sound real, it doesn't sound authentic. And I was a really big fan of the 2001 Rumble. So to me, it's just like not having that is obnoxious. And I don't know why. Like there's other edits in the Rumble too, where there's this one moment, and I don't remember where, so pardon me, but I feel like there's a moment in the Rumble where there's like this really awkward jump cut where like there's stuff happening in the ring, and the screen just kind of like does this like 80s rotate. And then like it like jumps like 5 minutes. And I'm not sure why the version on Peacock, which used to be on WWE Network, is not the original 2001 Rumble. And it's not like it's a rights thing. It can't be a rights thing with Austin's music because it's literally everywhere else on the network. It's not like it's cut out of any other pay-per-views. It's not like it's cut off of Raw or SmackDown, but just off of the 01 Rumble. I feel like
it pauses and revolves around. Like, what do you mean? Like,
there's a moment in the Rumble where something's happening, there's some action happening, and then there's just like the screen just kind of like does this rotation, and like it's just jumped a couple of minutes, and that's it.
Like on a cartoon.
Yeah, it's weird. Go watch it. I swear to you, this is a real thing in the 2001 Royal Rumble. I don't know why that show is edited.
So, you know what I pictured immediately when you said that was the Drew Hill video with them just jumping in the air and then freeze framing and running around.
What video was that? That was I know
you're everything remix.
Yeah, you are everything. Everything is you. Yeah. I couldn't remember the name of the song, but yeah, I remember that video because that was like right when the Matrix came out. Like everybody was trying to do that effect. It's Cisco jumping in the air, rotates.
I mean, of course, Cisco would do it.
Because Puff Daddy had the PE 2000 that same year.
Oh, God.
That big dance that he does. Like stop TRL or so. I remember he made it like a big moment. He's like, yo, this video is gonna be huge. And then at one point I'm gonna be getting off, and it's like, yo, Relax, bro. You were okay doing all them damn 80s moves, bro. It's 2001 at this point, 2002, whatever year it was, you know?
Mm-hmm. All you suckers. Yeah. Anyway,
shout out to Drew Hill, though, man.
Yeah.
They are R&B legends.
Oh, no, did we lose the dub?
Damn, it's that damn hotel Wi-Fi. It's crazy out here. I can't believe what happened. Shout out to William Washington, who is back.
Yes, hotels. Man, hotels. All right.
Yo, tell the hotel it's an important one today. You can't be leaving and coming back like that.
All right, we got some more super chats though. We got MJ Johnson says Seth was wilding last night. Van Twinblade says Crown Candy is a place in the North City. 1 pound BLT and shakes in those old school big ass metal cups. Okay.
Some treats.
Jay Shell says, y'all think Tasha is taking that belt off Mickey? That'd be cool.
I absolutely think Tasha's taking that belt. I love Tasha walking around with the Ultimate X still and talking trash. Love it.
So good. It's perfect. Yeah, with the Ultimate X win and how they've been setting her up, how they've been positioning her, seems like the win is coming, definitely. And Mickey, she wants to do this. You know, she wants to put some new talent over. She always wants to help, and like this is the perfect time for her.
I will say I am at a point where I have Impact successfully back in my life because DirecTV jacked up the prices again on DirecTV Stream, which is what I use for my cable service. And as a consolation to people who signed up for this service back when it launched at $29, and now they're like, hey, we jacked it up again. It's now $90. And so they're like, okay, we're at least going to give you unlimited DVR. And that's a huge difference, right? Because the DVR before only held like 20 hours, and now it's unlimited. So now I'm not picky about what I record. So I was like, you know what? Impact. It's time to put Impact back on the DVR.
Shout out Impact. They just had the Bullet Club shining out there a couple days ago. Yeah.
Let's see. John says, hey guys, hope everyone is well. How great was the ladder match with Cody and Sammy? The cutter spot was one of the most amazing ladder spots I've seen. You know, I'm glad you brought that up because that brings us into Grapsody's today number 5 topic. Cody versus Sammy in a ladder match on Dynamite Beach Break this week. And we saw the two of them go one-on-one in what I didn't realize at the time until I looked it up. I didn't even have to look it up. I just went through my memory. But I'm like, I didn't look that up. I can't pretend I did that. But this was the first time that AEW had a singles ladder match. They've had a lot of ladder matches over the years. They've had a couple of tag team ladder matches, or maybe just the one. But then they've had the casino ladder matches. They've had the Face of the Revolution ladder match. But as far as a one-on-one ladder match, AEW hadn't done it yet. And they did the first ever to determine the undisputed TNT champion.
This was the first match of Dynamite too, right? The first match of the first Dynamite also. Like there's a lot of history with Cody and Sammy, and this was starting the show again. And boy, let me tell you, they went for it.
Now, I have to say, you know, a lot of people wondered what moving to TBS for AEW is going to be. And it kind of went underreported until now that it turned out it was going to be massive for them because nobody was talking about how much people watch Big Bang Theory in syndication.
They were, in fact,
go figure.
Big Bang Theory hangoff, which is huge because Big Bang Theory is a giant show.
It is. I had no idea that people were still watching it like that in syndication, right? But
me neither.
But it is funny that AEW is now like they have an audience of millions of people who they can hook in those first couple of minutes. So like
this is a crowd that could possibly cross over, definitely, if they're watching Big Bang Theory. Yeah,
and so you've seen over the last 5 weeks how much the structure of Dynamite's kind of changed since they moved to TBS, and that like I feel like the biggest match they can put on now is absolutely first to hook those people. And then on top of that, they shortened the theme song. The theme song is only 15 seconds now. And so like they jumped straight in, and this week they were like, you get no entrances, you get nothing. We are jumping straight in to Cody versus Sammy Guevara.
So I thought this was hilarious. Cody didn't get his entrance, and so he basically stood on a turnbuckle the whole time with his arms up, grandstanding the whole time. I was like, Cody is the best, man.
He's like, I'm not about to just be standing in the ring.
I'm leaving here with something.
Yep, and I thought they delivered. I said on Twitter that I felt like the singles ladder match has kind of become a bit of a lost art because ladder matches are typically known for a lot of big spots. And the cool thing about the multi-person ladder match is that you have the ability to just kind of go spot, and kind of alternate people out. Whereas a singles ladder match requires a little bit more transition, where you have to be able to do some crazy spots, but also have the wrestlers kind of work them in and work them into the psychology of the match. And
Cody's not going to do spot. Also.
Right.
Cody Rhodes. Come on.
Yes.
No way. He's going to build to every single big spot they have. And he did that.
Yeah. I forgot. Like I said, it's been a lost art. The one thing I did look up was when the last time WWE on the main roster had a singles ladder match. And it's been 2 years.
Really?
Yeah. They haven't had a singles ladder match since Andrade versus Rey Mysterio.
Wow.
So thinking about who was even in it is now in the other company. That's how long it's been since WWE's had a singles ladder match. So like singles ladder matches are kind of a lost art.
They're rare.
Now, granted, they've had them in NXT, so I don't want to take away from that. But as far as main roster in front of a crowd, it's been a long time. But yeah, I thought these two came through. Yeah, the cutter spot is. I've now probably seen it 100 times. Probably the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Pretty insane.
Yeah.
It's like, what, how, timing, both of them, everything went right, as perfect as you can get it. Beautiful looking cutter from the top. Sammy did a springboard from the ropes to the ladder to Cody. Cutter all the way down. Just beautiful.
I mean,
amazing.
And then when you think about that spot, like every time I watch it, I think about how many things could have gone wrong with it and didn't.
So many things.
Yeah, like shout out to Paul Turner, by the way, who noticed as Cody was climbing the ladder that, hey, this ladder's wobbling a little bit.
Right.
And like the fact that he reaches in and holds that ladder down.
Right.
I mean, all the props in the world to Paul Turner.
Especially
Honestly,
after just seeing shout out to my homie. I hate that it had to be like this, but AJ Gray wiped out.
AJ, oh my God.
GCW show off the ladder. You know what I mean? So it's like seeing that and then seeing these guys do this. It's like, yo, you got to be careful out there, man. You got to be so careful.
Man, Cody Rhodes is very good at wrestling, guys. I know people want to hate him, but he's very good at wrestling.
He is.
If you watch that spot in slow-mo and how he protected himself on that landing and then came up and sold it perfect, man, chef kiss. This guy's really, really good, guys. He doesn't do all of the, spots and all of the flashy stuff, but he's just really good at timing. He's good at storytelling. And, man, I know a lot of people don't want to admit it, but for the past 2 months, he's been putting on banger matches.
Right. And he is kind of like, we say that he's not flashy, but like he does like flaming table spots and all the shit that he literally did. Yeah. He's on some wild shit. He's not just run of the mill. Cody knows what, I think more than anything, what an AEW crowd is going to want, because he knows exactly the points to hit, and when he hits them, they're big, and he did it here. This cutter spot's going to live on in infamy for the rest of AEW's existence.
I mean, they're going to use that spot forever. As good as that looked, as clean as it looked, like there's no way. I hope they got some good cinematic camera angles of that, because I would use that forever. I would use it in the theme song, the commercials, that little graphic they play right before the show starts where it says Dynamite coming up next on TBS. The only thing I put in that now is the Cody Sammy cutter spot and nothing else.
Oh man, it's gonna be up there with Cody doing the moonsault off the top of the cage.
Yeah, that's up there.
And boy, speaking of high spots, Sammy, Please be careful, man.
Bro.
The way he hit that ladder looks so nasty.
That swan
yeah.
where he did like, oh my goodness, bro. Come on. You got to be careful out there. I wonder were they expecting the ladder to break, or I don't know what was going on there, but that looked like it hurt.
I mean, well, typically in those spots, WWE uses, they like to use those balsa wood ladders that break, and they just paint them silver, so at least it looks like, you just bent a metal ladder. But at least there's
do anything.
but at least those ladders have give, right? But in this case, that shit he just bounced. He just bounced hitting that swanton, and insanity. But then to top it all off, the way it ended, of course. There's a couple more things I want to talk about from this match. There were some ladder tropes that were very much avoided, and I feel like this is one of those things where Cody is just smart about this kind of stuff. He thinks about it, and you can tell it bugs him when it's done. But this match did not have a slow climb ladder spot without damage having been done to the talent. When a match will start and somebody will start climbing slowly, but it's like, y'all just got out there. What the fuck are you doing?
Right.
That's my least favorite thing when I go back and watch the Rock Triple H ladder match, which is still one of my favorite ladder matches, singles. Yeah. But when Rock just starts climbing slowly, and it's like, why would you do that? Just
run up there.
Yeah, just run up there. But then as the wrestlers have taken damage throughout the match, that's where the climb should get slower. And I felt like they were really smart about that in this match. They avoided it a lot. I didn't really feel like there was a slow climb spot at any point. And the ending, of course, with Sammy going for the belts, Cody one last grasp at them, and Sammy just hits him with the belt from with one of the belts that's hanging. Sammy grabs him. Your undisputed TNT champion is Sammy Guevara. This was a great way to open the show.
I thought that was an inventive finish too. I've never really seen anybody do that. And when he did it, I was like, why hasn't anybody ever thought to do that?
Yeah, Big Show and Cena did it in the Money in the Bank where he banged, but then where he started hitting him with the Money in the Bank briefcase. And then, as Cena has told, the Money in the Bank accidentally broke. So that turned out to be how he retrieved the briefcase.
Right. This match was really dope though. At one point, Cody hit the big crossroads off the
and Sammy took that really well.
Yeah. Like a little. I mean, Sammy is scary.
Sammy scares the hell out of me.
Watching this match, Sammy Guevara gives me really big Paul London vibes. I was like, Sammy Guevara might be the new Paul London, because every time they have these matches, it's like Paul London's the people's favorite chant for Paul London was "Please Don't Die," and that's how I feel for every time Sammy goes to do something. I'm like, yo, be careful out there, man.
Be careful.
He walks the line so fine with all these spots, and I love it. It's great. It's great television. This match was amazing. All these spots were crazy. They went for it.
This reminded me, for sure, of that Darby match where they were just going crazy in that match. I'm like, guys, please don't kill yourself in this match.
And let's read some of the super chats as far as all that is concerned. Let's see. Rich Lotta says, big shout out my dudes. Make sure y'all show up with backward jerseys on in the loop.
I'm saying.
Reg, hold it together around Jade. What could he possibly mean by that? And we got Deontay says, look how we split the picture now. Says, yo, always good to see y'all. As usual, spreading love for the fam. And I changed my pick so Reg knows and has proof I'm black. In all seriousness, y'all are the best thing of Saturdays. Y'all be easy.
Hey, man. Shut up, man. One of our best commenters, man.
Yeah. Definitely. From the jump off rip, from the beginning.
Appreciate you, bro.
Mm-hmm. Ken says, Reg's jests, but Cody showing up and winning would probably be more interesting than what it seems like they have in place for both Rumbles. I don't know. I mean, I am very interested in everything that's happening with the
This
Rumble.
ain't no jest. This is real. Cody Rhodes is a free agent. Give him the bag. Vincent Kennedy, man, just come on. We just need a moment. Imagine this moment, bro. Cody Rhodes, ding, ding, ding. He comes out with this red and white and blue fucking bullshit gear.
He's got to come out to
Shit's
his theme
lit.
now.
I'm saying fire's going off and everything. They shoot to a shot of Triple H at home, and he's pissed. He's just so mad at him in his couch. And then it goes right back to Cody at the Royal Rumble. Dun, dun, dun. He walks to the ring, and then he throws everybody out of the ring, and he wins. It's simple as that.
Triple H just flip it over his table.
Yeah, they just shoot the Triple H at home, and he just, oh motherfucker, he just throwing stuff, smashing things.
Oh shit!
Come on, imagine that moment. It'd be great.
Man, Aiden says, love the show, guys. I look forward to it every week, but I really just want my name read on the same show as Jade Cargill.
I mean, that's a flex. I see you, Aiden.
Yeah. Carlos says you can find Grapsody in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm. Air Force Ones up. Both of y'all better have Air Force Ones on right now.
No, I got.
It's too cold for ones, bro.
Honestly, I made a mistake. I brought my. I'm wearing my Chucks at the moment, and I made it. I know. And here's the thing: I made it halfway through the airport, and I'm like, why did I do this?
He's like, my toes about to be
cold. I got on boots, sir. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Hannah's not in the room anymore. Although, if you saw me look behind me, that's because she did walk by. But she's off having breakfast with Sean Ross Sapp. But I will say, I will say, and props to SRS, by the way. He got props from Cody. Cody gave him his due on the story.
That Sean Ross story, I loved it.
Yeah,
that journalist.
Yeah. But yeah, I asked the wrong person for advice because I was like, I DM'd Hannah and I'm like, hey, should I bring my boots? Because I feel like it's like boots weather, and she's like, "Nah, you're good."
You should have asked me. Yeah, don't. Why are you asking white people? They don't get cold.
Yeah, she probably got some Crocs on right now.
See, you hadn't landed yet, so I'm like packing, and I'm like, okay, what should I bring? Do I bring boots? Do I just bring my sneaks? And I was like, you know what? I'll wear. And these are like brand new Chucks anyway. But I don't know.
They about to crack in half out there.
Yo.
Cold ass feet.
Yeah. Jester Design says Impact is the real forbidden door and the place to be for women's wrestling.
When it comes to women's wrestling, no one does it better than Impact Wrestling. Seriously.
They are killing it with women's wrestling right now.
I'm happy to see them. You know, they've got some tour dates coming up. Because really what I want to see for Impact is, you know, I don't need to see, the AEW, WWE type arenas for them. I know that's
it's just not
it's just not in the cards for them. And that's fine. It doesn't have to be. But I do want to see them in some settings outside of
what we see on TV presented every week.
We need to get out of that set they're in because it's getting very old.
It is.
But yeah, I do really like what they're doing with the knockouts. Got Giselle Shaw coming. Ooh. Really excited about that.
Cooking. And Tasha's about to win the women's championship.
For sure, about to win that title.
That's going to be so fire, man. She's going to be a great champion. She can talk. She can go, as we all can see. So, like, she has the total package, man. And, like, this is going to be a big moment for her. She's been in Impact busting her ass for a couple years now. She had the tag team with she had the tag team with Kiera Hogan, and they were Fire and Flavor. They were a great tag team, had a great run as Impact Women's Tag Champions. And she's worked hard to get to this moment. So for her to get to this, and it's going to be with Mickey, like all the elements are there for her to just have a great moment. So this is dope.
Yeah. We got Chris says, Seth definitely made this match between him and Roman interesting. Glad I'll be there to see it live. I'm excited to see that one live too.
I agree.
Run the tape. I told you.
Yeah.
Run the tape.
You know what speaking of which, I got off the plane today, landed here in St. Louis, and there was another guy on the plane who was coming for the Royal Rumble. And I love talking to wrestling fans like just meeting random wrestling fans, just talking to them. And he and I walked through the airport and we talked pretty much about the Rumble the whole way down and talked about a lot of things. Just talked about wrestling in general. He's a big fan, but it was a reminder of something that we've talked about before. Not a whole lot on this show, but we've had private conversations about, and talking about the fact that how much Twitter does not represent the general wrestling fan, right?
Right.
Because the one thing was, this was a blackmail. Because that's you. I don't know. Yeah. Well, mainly because I don't know. I can start conversations with random white people, but it's not as easy as starting conversations with random black people.
That's yeah. Okay.
It's just not this.
Okay. No, I totally understand. I think you have to be black to understand that. It's kind of a thing where we see each other. I can see a black person from like a mile away, and we'll catch eye contact, and they'll be like, "Yo, what's up?"
What's up, buddy?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And that's kind of how this was. And so, but we're walking, but but dude was like not on Twitter at all. He even mentioned, he's like, "Oh yeah, I don't
what's
use
Twitter?"
Yeah, he was like, he said, "I hadn't used Twitter in years." He's like, "I'm mostly on Instagram and TikTok." I'm like, "Okay, that makes sense. That's most people these days." And I guess it was just interesting how, we've talked about like the Jay Lethal stuff, right? And how everybody on Twitter was hey, we don't want to see Jay Lethal. But the moment he showed up in the arena in was at Norfolk, Virginia, had that match with Sammy Guevara, crowd was all behind him. And it was a reminder of, Twitter is a drop in the bucket. And just some of the things that he was talking about, it just reminded me that, he's excited for this event, but he's also like, he was telling me he's a big AEW fan and big AEW fan. Had no idea about the Tony Khan tweet. Not like
really
any idea. Like that did not make it outside of Twitter circles. Like it is really interesting. Really. So I thought it was all interesting, and I had a good conversation with him. And by the end, it just gave me kind of a vibe of like,
a lot of this is some bullshit.
Well, a lot of the conversations that take place, like normal people just aren't having. And he was just telling me how much he's looking forward to the Rumble and how he can't wait to go to his first AEW show because he's like, I love AEW storylines and the AEW has some of my favorite wrestlers, but he's like, I had to go to the Rumble, can't miss the Rumble.
Basically saying this show's trash.
He was saying the thing he was like, the thing I'm flying in for is he was like, I want to see Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. That's what I'm here for. That's what I flew in for. And he was like, I've been waiting on this match for 17 years, since 2005. Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. That's the match I wanted to see. He was like, I wanted to see it when Brock showed up, or when Bobby first showed up. He was like, all I could think about is can't wait till Brock comes back. And he's like, who knew that Brock wasn't going to come back for however many years?
Man,
but
super excited for that match, man.
Yeah,
I'm super happy for Bobby.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was all really interesting. I want to read a couple more super chats.
That match, oh my god, I keep forgetting that match is happening today. I interviewed Bobby Lashley, and he's wanted this match. Like this, when they talk about it on TV, when they do these video packages, when they do that's all real, all 100% real. Every interview he does where he talks about Brock Lesnar, this is real. He wants this match so bad. He's been counting down on Twitter to the minutes. He's like, in this many minutes, in this many hours, like he wants it so bad. This is such a great thing for him.
He talked about it when he was in Impact, right? Like he mentioned
he wants this match.
He wanted this match.
Yeah, I'm happy for him for sure, man. And by the way, that video package they put out this week for Bobby was fire.
Definitely. Yep.
Yeah, we'll talk about it when we get to the Rumble topic. But we have Carlos says, I saw people on my feed who have nothing to do with wrestling sharing that cutter and talking about how nuts of a spot it was.
Cool.
I sent it to a friend of mine who stopped watching wrestling in like 2004. His favorite act in pro wrestling ever was the Hardys. And, he was a big like TLC guy, and we watched WrestleMania 17 together, and so I sent it to him just as a like, hey, remember that spot in WrestleMania 17 with Edge spearing Jeff off the ladder? And I was like, I think there's a spot that's up there, and he was like, oh my god, that was like incredible. Let's see, Orion Ben says, Cody Sammy reminded me of Triple H words after the first takeover before WrestleMania. I told you go out and have fun, not steal the damn show. How are we following that? I mean, hey,
That's what
honestly,
AEW does. Come on, Bryan Danielson is in the first match all the time.
I
That's
mean,
just how they do the show.
So is Adam Cole.
yeah, and look, man, we're in Big Bang Theory era now. I think this is what we can call this era.
Theory era.
Shoot it, yeah.
Look, I mean, honestly, you want to hook fans, you want to hook people who could potentially be watching for the first time.
Right.
You got to do it first.
Look,
you got to go on first.
Bring that, but as soon as Big Bang Theory, as soon as Sheldon's like bazinga and the show's over, as soon as it switches over, it'd be like ding, 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 and the match would be going. I'm telling you, like, let's go. As soon as it switches over, ding, ding, ding. You know all these wrestlers already. Let's go. It's on fire. 0 to 100 right after the last bazinga.
So that's how AEW sells, right? Like AEW's approach is hook people with wrestling, and we've seen it works, right? Like, we've seen that you've seen the quarter hour that Brandon Thurston publishes for this particular match, and you saw that they grew throughout the match. So like it is, and then the same thing happened with the hour long Bryan and Hangman, right? Like it grew throughout, and so AEW has an approach of hook people with wrestling. You know, WWE's approach isn't quite that. WWE's approach, and it's not to say that there's a wrong way to do it, because it's
the way that WWE does it.
I mean, look, I
know y'all going to the show today and y'all got to be liberal. I don't. WWE, that shit's trash. This shit's gonna. I mean, they're gonna disappoint the heck out of us tonight. They're probably gonna squash Bobby Lashley in 13 seconds. They're gonna have Ronda Rousey's 1,000% winning this thing. Please, like I said on Twitter, everybody hoping for this great Bianca Belair, Naomi moments. Stop hoping for it. You're gonna be disappointed tonight.
That's why I posted the Dolby and Menace clip. The give up hope. Dreams are for suckers.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Give it up. Turn them off.
Turn them off. Turn them off.
Turn off the lights. I said turn them off.
Let's see. Bam says, awesome interviewing Goddess Jade Cargill. Who's doing that? That's crazy.
I haven't interviewed Jade Cargill.
Yeah. Juan says, Reg shows violence today with the Cody booking.
That's just normal, man. Cody Rhodes. Come on. If it happens, it's going to be fire.
Did you see Cody's IG? I haven't yet. This is going to be, I guess, breaking to me on the show. So let's open up the American Nightmare. No, what is this? It's American Nightmare Cody, right? All right. What? Always welcoming me home.
Cody's funny. I see that he with the Twitter's still attached to the Twitter's now attached to AEW community outreach. Mm-hmm. But after the ladder match, he was just tweeting. He was retweeting as if it's just Cody Rhodes. So everybody being great ladder match, Cody, great this and great this. It's just all those retweets, but it's coming from that. It says AEW community outreach. So it's just really funny to see that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's how the AEW album got announced, right? Mm-hmm. It was announced from the community outreach account, but the handle on that is still Cody Rhodes, right? So that got announced, and
come on, man.
People were just
come on.
Oh man,
so funny.
So Hannah, who is somewhere in the vicinity, in this hotel building, said fashion over function.
I agree. Except for when it comes to Crocs, because those are just for function. Those are not for fashion. Stop it.
Let's see. It's all somebody said. Will looks intimidating from this angle. Look, I mean, I could try to get at my normal angle because normally my camera shoots more.
Nah, don't be laying down. That's gonna be weird. Jade pops on and you're laying down. She's like, "What kind of a show is this?" Two brothers in a hotel room. One of them's laying down.
Two brothers in a hotel. Man, we got room keys.
Yeah. Emmanuel says, in St. Louis, and I'm ready for tonight. This is the first year I have no idea who is going to win either Rumble. Thank you guys for all that you do.
Appreciate you.
Myron says,
we talked about Mickey. She's going to be in the Rumble too. There's so many crazy elements going on tonight.
There is. You know what though? Hearing hardcore country on WWE television is going to be something. Crazy. That is going to blow my mind. Mm-hmm. I mean, I say that.
She better come out with that title too, man.
She has to. It has to be the whole thing.
But I swear to you, the first time, I remember I was at a Raw in 2008, and it was before he had debuted on TV. But R-Truth comes out, and of course, For people who aren't aware, because you may be younger, may not have been watching back then, R-Truth's music, of course, is What's Up. He brought that music from Impact. He had that music in TNA. Mm-hmm. I mean, and it's not even like he redid it for WWE. I mean, he brought the actual song, like it's remastered, but it's the same vocals. He used What's Up in TNA. And so
that's crazy. Has there been any? There's no wrestler in history that has just crossed over a theme song all the way, 100%, no changes.
I know, yeah, and that's history. And so I remember I was at this show, and R-Truth works a dark match, and that music hits, and I fucking lost it, right? And like I was with my friend with Theron Reynolds, and we're sitting there, and of course we watched Impact, so he's coming out and doing the people over there, what's up? If you feel me, stand up and say, what's up? What's up? And me and T are like, what's up? But nobody else knew that song, right? Because nobody else was watching TNA. And I'm like, what's wrong with you people? What's up? Like, this is what's
wrong with you people? What's up?
Yo, no, he's saying, what's up? What's up, you guys? What is up?
Like, this is what Ron Killings does. Man. And so, yeah, I remember it blew my mind, though. And now we're going to hear hardcore country on WWE television. That's going to be something.
Hey, man, full circle, bro.
Yeah. Myron says, Impact killing it with women as always, but they got to improve their weak world title picture.
Yes, they do.
The world title picture is not the best. I agree.
Get that title on my man, Chris Bay, man. Come on now.
Right. Yeah, I don't want to. I'm not interested in Moose and W. Morrissey. I'm just not really.
Max says, kind of hoping that train stops working in Brooklyn due to the storm so I can stay home and watch Royal Rumble tonight live instead of at 5 a.m. tomorrow.
The elements might help you out. The elements have been going crazy this week. So
fingers crossed for you, Mac. Mm-hmm. So let's move on to the next topic because this one's a head scratcher. It's been reported that Big E is possibly back on SmackDown. So I said possibly because if this is true, I don't like being negative about much of anything, but like,
I'm here to do it. What the fuck happened here? Big E, what was this reign? Please just explain everything that happened here to me, because it seemed like this was just like a nice little pat on the back for Big E being in the WWE, working, busting his ass for so long, but he got the championship and he lost almost every match. Lost his belt in some bullshit match that he wasn't even supposed to be in with Brock Lesnar, but Brock Lesnar won. So we're all like, oh, we're going to fucking let it play out. Let it play out. Our favorite fucking thing to say. There is no playing out. They sent him back to the show he was on. Now he's back with the New Day, even though they were saying every interview that he did, including the interview with me, he was saying, if it goes back, this is not a knock on the New Day. If I go back to the New Day, that's a fucking downgrade. He said that in every interview that he did. So now look at him here on SmackDown, back with the New Day, downgraded, never to see the WWE Championship again.
What's the other WWE champion that they put straight back in the tag team champion in the tag team division?
Yeah, so that's my concern here is that if this is. Now, I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping that, hey, I get surprised and he wins the Royal Rumble still. But
I would
would love to still see that, but God, this is ringing so similar to Kofi, right?
So
it looks similar. Losing to Brock Lesnar and then immediately going back into the New Day with it hasn't even been a month. That's the thing. I'm like, what happened here? So he lost the championship, and so my boy Matt Galloway, my former co-host, pointed out. He said it on Twitter. He's like, "Did you notice the way that Big E was pinned by Brock Lesnar, and they immediately go to the Brock Lesnar Bobby Lashley stare down?" He was like, "That's not a coincidence." He said that was them telling you Big E is not involved here anymore.
He beat Kofi Kingston in 9 seconds, and then he immediately had a stare off with Cain Velasquez.
It was I said that night. It was so crazy.
After the match.
I said that night that it was like they moved straight to the next feud. And when I said that, people were like, well, you don't know what's going on. I was like, they told you what the next feud is. They didn't make it seem like Big E was getting a rematch. They didn't show his reaction outside. That reaction of him sitting next to the ring, that was a candid picture that we saw. They didn't show that on TV?
Nope.
It scares me, man. I mean, yes, Woods is hurt, but it also bothered me that he won King of the Ring and he was still doing tag matches. Like, he's King of the Ring. Give him an IC title match. Give him a world title feud. Give him something.
More so, he won the King of the Ring, and then like you did not have to put him in that match with Roman in any way, shape, or form. You didn't have to do that.
You let Roman embarrass him too. It's
Roman stepped on his crown, like they were just clowning him. Like, what?
Right, and I loved, and it's not that I don't want to see the New Day together. The New Day is like my all-time favorite act. I love the New Day as a group, but like I want to see their individual success, and I want to see it sustained in a way that in a way that. Best example I can use, because it's not like WWE isn't familiar with this concept. But look at Evolution. Evolution was a group. Evolution was a solid group. And everybody can still look back historically at Evolution and feel pleased at what they got out of it as a group. But also, what they were really good at was making sure that these guys all found their success individually. And at no point did you ever feel like, okay, Randy Orton, he had his little championship run. Now it's time to go back. Batista, he had his little championship run. Now it's time to go back. Instead, it was like when they reunited, even in 2007, they did a reunion 3 years later. It was like, look at all these guys now. Now they're all at the same level. Now these guys have all elevated to the next level. And then when they reunited again in 2014, it was like, this is not the same Evolution that you saw 10 years ago. This is these guys are made. These are all stars. These are all legends. Bosses. Yeah, these are all a bunch of bosses. It's a good way to look at it, right? They've shown that they know how to do this. And like, for me, it's not that I need to see the New Day break up. I don't need to see that. But what I could see them remaining intact forever. But what I would have liked to have seen with Kofi, with Big E, is more of these guys all grew as individuals and still remained loyal to each other. That's how I would have done it. Right. And it's like they did flashes of that. Kofi became WWE champion, but then as soon as he was done, they were like, all right, now you're back to the New Day, doing what you were doing before. Big E became WWE champion. And I thought at the very least, keeping him on a separate brand would mean that he's still tied to the New Day, but he's going to get to do more as a singles competitor and show his evolution as a performer. And so when he comes back to the New Day, it's like, hey, this is a different Big E. We got superstar-made Big E. Right. Same with Xavier Woods winning King of the Ring. And maybe it's weird that, oddly enough, Xavier has the best chance of getting to do that now. But I'm just...
And I mean, we should be fair. How much of him coming back to SmackDown is because Woods is hurt? Maybe he might not have came back to SmackDown if Woods didn't get hurt. But at the same time, I just want them to be consistent. If you give all of these other wrestlers the kind of runs where if they're done getting this one reign, they eventually get a rematch. Do that for the boys too, man. Give that same energy to Big E and Kofi. If winning King of the Ring did what it did for guys like Brock Lesnar and Stone Cold, why isn't it doing the same thing for Woods?
Right.
That's it.
Yep, easy as that. It's crazy out here. I can't believe it.
Yeah,
I can't believe it.
And so the concern I have here,
actually.
The concern that I mostly have with him moving to SmackDown is mainly just centered around the fact that he lost the title. He didn't get any type of rematch claim to anything and is just on the other brand now. And like, and I had to think about that, right? Because Paul Griffin had asked me yesterday, he's like, wait, is Big E back on SmackDown before SmackDown had aired? And I was like, nah, they're just doing something for the Rumble. And then, of course, Caleb Braxton interviews him, and Caleb Braxton says, how do you feel with Big E officially being back on SmackDown? And I'm like, ooh, WWE scripts every single word these people say. And that sounded like deliberate wording.
Yep.
Let me hope that's wrong. And then they tweeted out, Big E officially back on the blue brand. And I thought, man...
And then not only does this happen, then we have to see him wrestle fucking Madcap Moss on top of it.
And this is what he was doing when he left SmackDown.
Exactly.
The stuff with Corbin.
Awful.
Remember stealing the Money in the Bank? This is all the stuff he was doing before. Like you really took him backwards.
It's awful. I feel bad for Baron Corbin. Sounds wild, but they always, anytime they have him in a feud, it's like the feud's gonna be 9 whole months, and you're gonna be wrestling every show. It's like they burn his feuds to the ground every time he's in
the ground. So yeah, I wanted to take a couple more. Oh, somebody's got an alarm here in here at this in the hotel. My bad, y'all. And so we're gonna get to
a new entrance was coming in the Royal Rumble. Who is it? 10, 9, 8. Countdown is on.
And so we're gonna take a couple of more questions, and then we have a special guest we're gonna be getting to here shortly. But Orion Ben says said it earlier on Twitter. Hashtag Grapsody called it buried for no reason. I don't like to throw the word buried around.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say that just yet. But we've got Dante says Evolution was also coincidentally a mystery.
It was a mystery.
Full of change that no one sees.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see what else we got here.
Evolution!
Oh, man, that song takes me back to high school.
I'm saying. Things were weird.
Yeah. So,
Will went all the way back. He connected all the way. He was like, wait
a second. Yep. Waiting an absolute second.
Oh, yeah. We got to get your guys' Rumble picks before we get into this. Who do you guys have winning the men's and the women's Royal Rumble tonight?
Man, I really feel like my prediction is Kevin Owens to win the men's Royal Rumble. Mm-hmm. For the women, if Ronda's in it, I think Ronda's winning. If Ronda's not in it, I really think Naomi's winning. Just the way that she won on Thursday and certain other stuff they set up, I could see Naomi winning.
I liked it. Will Washington?
If Ronda's in it, she's winning for sure.
That's just a given.
Yeah. I don't see a scenario where they don't try to address what the controversy of the ending of WrestleMania 35.
Yep.
I just don't. And so
no way they wouldn't.
Yeah, especially considering Becky's champ now. Right. And then as far as the men's is concerned, like my gut says Roman Reigns wins it. I would like to see kind of an outside guy win it. Like, hey, if we're doing Seth Rollins win the Universal title, Kevin Owens.
Yeah, Kevin Owens makes the most sense to me. If not Kevin Owens, I think AJ also makes sense. But I think AJ is going to feud with Edge at WrestleMania. That's my guess.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I think of same thing. If Ronda Rousey's in this, she's winning. If Ronda Rousey's not in this, I'm going to go with Alexa Bliss. They just love giving accolades to Alexa Bliss, and I feel like winning the Royal Rumble would be another one for her. So that's always in the running. On the men's side, it's kind of up in the air. They have a couple of options of things that they could do. They'll probably go with the boring option. I said on Twitter that I think Roman's going to lose his belt in the beginning of the night and then win the match at the end of the night to set up the match with Brock Lesnar. They have to give. And again, they like accolades, and like Roman saying that he won the Royal Rumble. They just love to say that. Double R, Roman Reigns, Royal Rumble, Righteous Reg. There's all these R's and stuff going on. So
Double R.
That's just what it is. But hopefully I think the same of you guys said Kevin Owens. That's even not really a big surprise because he's been with the WWE for a while. He's not like I'm talking about somebody like Angel Garza or something like something way off, something like we would never expect. But like if they give it to a guy that like has already had 20 world championship matches, it's like all right, cool.
All right, well, you know what? I'm done talking about all of that for right now. All right. I just am, because we got to move forward. Folks, we have a special guest joining us right now here on Grapsody. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now, she is undefeated in AEW competition. She is, on January 5th, made history becoming the first ever TBS champion, and she is now currently the reigning and defending TBS champion. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Jade Cargill.
How are you guys doing?
Oh,
I
wow.
wanted to say I'm the first TBS champ. Let's get that shit.
Wow, yes.
The
Get it
first.
right, Will. Come on,
Nobody
get it
can take
right.
that from me.
Nobody will take that from Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill, thank you for being here on Grapsody. So happy to have you here. So excited.
For having me.
First off, you're the first ever TBS champion. You won the tournament. Started back in October, and you made your way through some of AEW's toughest opponents that got you where you are now. You beat Thunder Rosa.
Yes.
You beat Red Velvet. And then, to end it off, you beat Ruby Soho.
Yes. How babyface, man. That's what they do. Like, they need to hate me. I need the hate. I need the hate. Pour all the hate on me. I need it.
I saw you on Twitter.
Oh, Will Washington dropped out. Home game. Jade Cargill. Will, thank you for joining us today.
There you go.
Well, Will Washington is back.
Yeah, I'm back.
Hotel Wi-Fi.
Hotel Wi-Fi. I'm in St. Louis right now.
Okay, yeah, we have the first ever TBS champion. Jade, with every match, people have been saying on Twitter that you have been improving tremendously with every single match, every single show that you've done. I want to first give out a couple of shout outs to a couple of people that have helped you train. So tell us a little bit about the people that help you up top, because they have been doing some tremendous things.
Well, QT Marshall at the Nightmare Factory, he is a tremendous help. He helps me with my timing. He helps me with, because there's a lot of dead points in between spots, obviously, and that comes with reps. And being that I've been literally baptized by fire,
right?
I
mean, matches with Shaq.
Yeah, seriously, he's the one that actually sits there and he talks me through things. We watch my matches. I literally take something from every one of my matches. I didn't work on the independent circuit. I didn't go to a school for about 2-3 years to be groomed before I was on TV. Like, when I say I was baptized by fire, I literally was. Right. So he's one of my trainers that helps me to stay calm and collective in the ring. Being that I'm a previous athlete, I'm used to being in front of people and performing. That's easy. It comes from the heart, and just being able to stay in the moment. Because prior to this, being an athlete, I came in, I was like very cocky, very like, this is this, I can do this.
But we like that too. Don't stop doing that.
But the moves are like not even, the moves are like 15% of everything. You have to breathe. You have to be in the moment. If anything happens, you have to listen to the audience. It's a lot. There's a lot of layers in wrestling that I'm learning. And another person that helps me out is Dustin Rhodes. He is a tremendous trainer too. He's over at AEW. Obviously, these people come from years of experience. Right. And lately, I've been working with Bryan Danielson. So,
oh my goodness gracious! Great balls of fire.
I'm 10 months in, and I'm working with the legends. Like, I am forever floored. I am humble. I am grateful to work for these people that come with so much recognition and have put and contribute so much to the community of wrestling. So I'm thankful. I'm ready. I have the best coaches out here. I'm 10 months in, so the sky's the limit, baby.
Hey, I wanted to ask you, because thinking about this first year, and it just been the first year, there's you came in at an interesting time, because you came in at a time where there were no fans in the building. Everything was taping at Daly's place. You had the wrestlers surrounding the ring to give you a little bit of that, but talk to me about how that has compared for you, that you got to come in to Daly's place with no fans, and then making that transition halfway through the year to being in the arenas, getting to be traveling the country all of a sudden, and performing in front of the fans.
So I wouldn't say my first match, we actually had capacity. So we had fans in the first match. For me, to be totally honest, performing in front of my peers probably is more nerve-wracking than performing in front of an audience full of thousands and thousands of people. being that I am new, wrestlers know what to look for.
Mm-hmm.
Fans know what to look for as well, but my peers know what to look for more so thoroughly than a fan.
Right.
So when I'm in front of thousands and thousands of people, it feels like home. When we're at Dark in Orlando tapings, I feel like I can hear a pin drop, and I sit back and I'm like, is something here? What's going on? But when I'm in front of thousands and thousands of people, I feel at home. I feel comfortable. I feel in my element. I'm used to that being an athlete. I feel like I can just take it to the top notch with my character. I love it. I love full audience. It's when the audience are like hundreds of people that I'm probably like, okay, all right, like here, pin drop, what's going on? Because I'm still testing out what works and what doesn't work. Being that, like I said, I wasn't on the independent circuit. I don't have the opportunity to see what works. Everything has to work right now for me. I'm on national TV. Everything has to work. And if it doesn't, like I said, I take it to the back. I talk to my coaches. I talk to people who want to see me do great. And I move forth and I figure out what can I do with whatever just happened. So it's a difference. It's a difference, but I've always performed in front of an audience. I think smaller audience, if anything, make me feel some type of way. Bigger audience, I love it. I feel like I'm embodying my character, and I just love it better than a smaller audience. Let's just say that.
Well, one of the things I also wanted to talk to you about was just a week ago in Washington, D.C., you got to make a little bit of history because off the top of my head, 5 Black women in the history of pro wrestling have gone on last main eventing a live television show, period. And those five, and it has been Sasha Banks, Naomi, Bianca Belair, Red Velvet, and now Jade Cargill. Talk to me about that match with Anna Jay, the main event of Rampage live in Washington, D.C. last week.
So we didn't know until maybe early afternoon that we were main eventing. I think I seen it on social media and I thought it was a joke at first. So I sat back and I'm like, yeah, right. So I didn't believe it. I wrote QT and he said, yeah, you guys are main eventing. In which, I'm like, all right, let's go. Like, I'm excited. But, it's a lot of pressure. Like, Mox is on the show. Like, Mox is on the show. Like, this is a big deal. This is a comeback match. So for him to not main event, we had to put on a show and we had to deliver. Anna is probably maybe less than a year ahead of me, So being that we both have less than 100 matches under our belt, we had to deliver. And we were, more than anything, we were hungry. And we wanted to show people that we could do this and that we're proud to be main eventing. And at the end of the day, we're representing this company individually, but it's a reflection on the women's division entirely. So we were ready to deliver. We were there to show people that we're here, and we were there to show people what is up. Like, I was excited. I was in the moment more than anything. I felt comfortable. I love what we were doing. The crowd was into us. I was watching in the back, looking at the crowd. They were feeling things that were going on. I was like, they're going to love me. I don't care. I love it. And if the crowd doesn't I want them to hate me, I talk to the crowd. That's the difference. I talk to the crowd. I want to see expressions in the crowd. I love working with the crowd. So even if they weren't all riled up, I was like, I got it. I'm going to talk to them. That's fine. That's fine. Like, I look for that one fan that's probably talking hella crap, and I just pinpoint on them the whole time. I don't know if you just seen my match last night.
Yes, we definitely saw that.
They cut it, man.
Man,
I was sitting there talking to this fan for like 10 seconds, like just going off on me. I was like, wait. We're not going to do this. You lucky I'm on TV right now, so I can't say what I want to say.
Get him. Right up.
And we were just going back and forth to, like, even in the entrance, I kept on turning back and talking to him and telling him to suck it. Like, all right, cool, suck it. I'm not going to let let you get away with this. And just because I'm on camera, I can't say what I want to say, but I'm going to say enough to get your attention. And at the end, like, he was like, good stuff. And I just flicked him off. And I was like, no, you wanted to start something, you started something. And I went right back up the. If I could have had another 20 seconds with him, I would have did that. So, but I love the like that because it puts me that much more in the moment. And it makes me get, it fuels me. It fuels me. It's like, okay, that's great. Keep talking crap. That's fine. Bring it. I like when people tell me I can't. I like when people tell me, just try to put me down because all my life I prove people wrong. And I love it. I've always been the underdog. I've always had a chip on my shoulder. And I love competition. And I want to get better. So that's what I'm here for. I mean, you guys, like I said, I'm 10 months in. You guys are going to see some real movements within the next years.
I do feel like that led to that iconic picture of you coming down the ramp and giving that guy with the sign and middle finger. Just that same energy. And I mean, man, look, Ray came on our show with the shirt on. Like, it feels like the confetti's still on the shirt, man. Come on, man. Got the championship belt.
That's great. That brings us into our next thing. You're the TBS champion. You said you've been thrown in right into the fire. We've seen 26 matches. We've seen every one of your matches pretty much. How has the transition been from being brand new in the industry to being a champion, the world champion, defending your belt in essentially open challenges? It looks like. How has the transition been to being a champion? You look great. So, like, how has it been to being it?
I would say I'm still fairly new. Like, let's be real, 26 matches compared to my peers who've done 100+ matches, who've done this years and years and years. I'm still new. Like, I don't take criticism when people tell me I'm green. That's fine. That's great for somebody that's so green and doing what I'm doing and put in the position I'm like put in. That's like, thank you. That's fine. And I'm being compared to people who've been doing this for so many years. Like, I don't take it. I'm green like money. I bring the money into the house. Like, regardless, if somebody is watching TV at 10 o'clock at night, just flipping through the channels, let's be real. If they see my fine ass, they're going to stop.
Hey, talk your shit.
The facts are the facts.
You know what they're going to do? They're going to see my handle on Instagram. After every one of my matches, my followers go up. Every single time, whether that's you looking at how fine I am, whether that's you seeing me kill it on the map, whether what it is, I'm bringing in the money. Like, it's fine. Like, even if people talk crap about me, good or bad, that's publicity. Thank you. Keep bringing it. That's fine. Keep me trending. I could care less. But I'm fairly new. Like, I'm still new. I'm still learning on the job. Every match, there's something new in my match that I never knew before. Like, my first time using a chair ever. I took that back. Now I know what to do. If I ever have a chair in my hand from here on out, I know what to do from here on out. Wow. So I've been putting some rough and tough situations, but I thank Tony Khan for having the trust and belief in me, because a lot of people wouldn't. And at the end of the day, people are going to crap on me regardless, because I am new and because I came literally out of nowhere. So that's fine. And I bring on the hate. But I'm still new. Guys, talk to me when I actually get when I become champion zero, we can like rekindle this conversation and we can talk about how I feel then. Because I mean, I'm just running through girls left and right. I mean, if you guys have anybody from the independent circuit that you think that I should be challenging next,
let's go.
Hey, man.
I'm competition.
Have you ever heard of Trisha Dora, Miss Jade Cargill?
I have. She has been at AEW Dark tapings, I believe. So, I see her in a magazine, I believe. So, bring her on.
I think she'd be a great opponent for you. Or Willow Nightingale's also an incredible talent. Come on.
Such a nice girl. Bring her on too. Bring her on to that bubbly spirit. I'll bust that bubble too. That's fine. I'm down for the competition. I'm down to get better. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for, to compete.
Jade, I want to ask you, as Grapsody's resident belt guy, because I have to know. This is just my opinion.
Yes.
But between you and Britt Baker, you got the better looking belt right now.
She kind of does.
Look how big that thing is, right? It looks perfect.
That thing clean.
Listen, I'm there with you. I'm there with you. I love my belt. Like, we get along fine. Like, everybody that was talking crap, I'm like, man, this belt loves me. This belt. Like, I want both belts if I could, and maybe the other
Hey.
but like, listen, this belt is built just for me. Look how big it is. I'm a big woman. Like, it's a big belt. Like, the other belt might look like, a tiny.
Definitely China vibes with the big belt.
The big belt.
The big belt.
Well, yeah, go for it, Will.
Oh yeah, my bad. So of course we talked about year one, which, like I said, it's crazy that this is year one that you have completed the first year of AEW, and barely even that because.
Wait, I haven't even completed it yet. It completes March 3rd. That's my first match.
Yeah, that's true. It was the go home to Revolution. The Crossroads, I think was what that show was called. But yeah, we're almost at the completion of year one, and you're already walking away a champion. What do you see for year two?
It's a lot, man. I didn't hear what you said because I was like, I was gloating. Like it, which the fans voted, so they can hate me that right? Okay.
Yeah.
And,
so I was just wondering, what do you see for year two?
Just getting better, getting my footing. Maybe ending my matches even more earlier than what they are. Because time is money. So just getting warm. I feel like now I'm getting more comfortable in the ring. I don't know if you noticed that more so in my matches lately, but I'm just starting to embody it. And I know holding a belt is a privilege. So for me to have this privilege, I have to step it up. And I know I have to step it up. And that's what I plan on doing. And with every match, I just want to get better and better and better. And I want my opponents to get better and better and better and have more knowledge and more wisdom and more experience. Like, I'm just right now trying to get the experience in the ring. Year two, I want to go for the world title.
Oh, let's go.
That's what we want. We want some great storylines. We want some great feuds. I want to have this open challenge, and whoever wants to come and get that ass beat, I'm down for that as well.
Hey.
So year two is going to be another. I'm only getting better.
Right.
So let's be real. Year two is the year of Jade. Let's see how this goes, right?
So I think it was AEW unrestricted you on, and you were saying that you're not a top rope person, but you'd be willing to try it. And that was one of the things I noticed in the title match when you won. You did go to do the top rope, and then you were like, "Nah, let's maybe slide down to the middle rope on this first one."
Yeah.
Do you is that something else you're going to try to add to your repertoire later?
I can do it now. I can do it.
Hey.
No. Seriously, I can do front flips. I can do all that stuff. But for somebody in my stature and my size, right now, it doesn't make sense for me to unload people with that right now. It makes no sense to go out there, break my back when I'm like scrapping girls in like 2-3 minutes. So with some pay-per-view match, like that's when I'll unload all these tools that I have. There's no point. Like, I'm hella athletic, but what's the point of me hitting a flip on somebody or jumping off the top rope on a girl that's like 5 foot? There's really no point.
Right.
So when it's time, you guys will see all that top rope stuff. I've been doing the top rope stuff. I can do all that stuff. It's just the time and place to do it.
Right. Jay, so there's something looming over your head. There's an entity. You've been in a little bit of a Twitter beef with an entity. Brandy Rhodes wants that belt, I think. I think Brandy Rhodes really wants that belt.
You just seen that this morning. That's good.
Yeah.
Brandy Rhodes has a lot to say about Jade Cargill. We saw a little bit of your guys' back and forth. If you watched a little bit of Rose to the Top, you guys have been in a little bit of things. What role has Brandy played, first of all, getting you to where you're at? And second of all, what's about to happen here?
So this is a very sensitive subject
Oh.
because how she came at me like throughout my debut, that wasn't respectable at all. I didn't like it at all. But she came at me hot as fire. That's fine. And I don't know if you noticed, but I had a microphone in my hand the whole time she was talking.
Yep.
And the whole time in my mind as she was talking, I was like, bitch, I will grab this microphone. But I'm going to let you have your moment right now. You got it. Got it. You got it. I'm going to do this. You got it. And then she popped up pregnant.
Right.
So with that being said, now that I have my opportunity and she's locked and loaded and ready to go and there's no excuses, like, I'm ready for this match. I'm ready. One thing I know is Brandy is excellent on the microphone. And if we get that opportunity to exchange words, like, I'm down because I'm passionate about this match that we can have. I'm super passionate about it. I know she is too. This was her match that she was supposed to complete before getting pregnant. So I think honestly that was the best for her because I would have squished her 2 in like 2 minutes.
Now this works out because Brandy has improved a lot since coming back. Yeah, since coming back from having a baby.
I don't care. I don't care. This is a very personal match. I don't care. I don't care. Actually, I might give her a little bit more time so she can say what she want to say, and I can talk as much crap because if you've noticed, I love talking crap. So I feel like I can say what I want, and I might even use the same words she used on me since I'm such a heifer. So I'm very excited for this match. If this match happens, like, you guys are gonna get like see a Jade that you haven't seen before because I'm more passionate about this match than a lot of matches. Like, I give it to her. She killed me when I first had my first debut. So I'll give her that. I'll give her that. I'm a person that gives props and gives all that stuff. But now that she's back, she's got warm. What you said, she's gotten better. So I'm ready. I can show her better. I'll give her a little bit more time. I might give her like 5 minutes of fame. I think honestly, still being how Cody Rhodes just went out. So now, if she wants some shine, I'll give it to her.
You know, I want to take it to a little bit of a personal topic that I wanted to ask you about because I have a 10-year-old daughter, and she is of the belief that Jade Cargill is like a real life superhero. She loves Jade Cargill so much. I am sorry that I am in St. Louis right now because I would have grabbed her in the room just to be like, she's here, say hi. But talking about that and just thinking about the idea of what your presence on TV has meant to a little girl I know. You've had your daughter at ringside now for a couple of your big matches. She was there to see you walk away with the crown, and she was there in Washington, D.C. to see you retain the crown. What has it been like having your daughter at ringside, seeing these moments transpire? And what is it like seeing other little girls look up to you as a star? And you know what's funny is I'm getting a phone call from my daughter right now, but please go ahead and answer that question.
It's amazing. My daughter has been here for me from day one. The first day I got in the ring, my daughter was on the outside in her stroller just watching. She was a little frightful at first because she's watching her mom get beat up by these grown men. So in practice, she at first didn't like it. She right now is like a wrestling fanatic. She loves it. She wants to get in the ring. I'm like, no, you can't. But I want her to know everything I'm doing is for her. Being that we're on the road all the time, and being that, you know, I have to dedicate a lot of my time towards what I'm doing right now because I'm taking it so serious. This is right now what I want to do. I'm very in tune with wrestling right now. And again, I'm learning. I haven't been here as long as everybody else. So my focus has to be on a whole nother level than everybody else's right now. So anytime I can involve my daughter with anything I'm doing, I do it because I want her to know this is what I'm doing for you. I also want her to see that this is the floor to her foundation. She can do any and everything she wants to do as long as she puts her mind to it and she works hard for it. as far as other little black girls and just other little girls in general, like, I didn't come from the best background, you know. I worked hard to be where I'm at, regardless of how I look. I wear the shattered glass, for example, to show people, like, I break mirrors because I'm more than just a face. Like, I work hard for everything I'm doing. I'm breaking glass ceilings. That's why I always wear the glass patterns, because it's personal to me. I didn't just pick some gear just to pick some gear. I wanted something that meant something to me, and not just me, but my family. I am thankful for my family, because it's tough with me being on the road and not being there for my daughters. Mothers usually are home with their kids and taking care of the house. So now a lot of roles are reversed. My spouse stays at home with my daughter a lot. He's a retired Major League Baseball player. So he's at home. I'm very thankful for him. My daughter understands, you know, she doesn't want me to leave half the time on the road every week. So me just involving her is just a little small token that I can do for her, to let her know I'm doing it for her. I want little girls to see what I'm doing, where I've been. To, like I said, they can do whatever they want. I want them to be proud and say, you know, I'm a representation of Black women. I'm a strong Black woman. And I want them to see that and know that they can do this too. And they can be way better than me. I'm just starting. And, you know, obviously I have so much room to learn and to grow and to be, but I want these girls to be that much more better than me. The women who paved the way for me, you know, I'm thankful for these people, because then I can get ahead in certain things. And now the next generation can get ahead in certain things. That's what I'm here for. That's why I'm just a stepping stone for the next generation to see what they can do in this life, and that they can, I mean, look at the president we just had. You can do whatever you want in this life, you know, like you can do anything. If she wants to be a wrestler, you know, I'm like, about it. But I'll be there right there with the sign, like, let's go, baby girl, let's do it. If she wants to play tennis, which I hope she plays, I'll be there embodying that as well, and telling her, let's go, let's go, let's go. You know, I looked up to China growing up, but I looked up to Jazz growing up. I looked up to a lot of women like that growing up, and it was not that many of us. So I feel like when we're putting prominent positions, I want to help that person regardless to what company they're in. Like, I'm cheering for you. Like, I'm cheering for you because I want us all to win. And regardless if you like me or not, like, be happy that one of us is chosen. Be freaking happy. Be freaking thankful. Like, be thankful. Like, we already have so much against us. We have so much against us. And like, this sport is not, it's not set up for a lot of people. Like, it's not. And you have to be mentally strong, you know, but at least be thankful, and at least be supportive, and understand the positions that we're put in, and go all out. Like I said, I don't care what company you're for. I don't care what you do, but I'm going to cheer for you, and I'm going to say, hey, I love what you're doing. You're representing for us, and put on. That's me. That's the type of person I am. And if you don't like me, that's fine. Do your thing. But, like, then don't say nothing at all. Don't say anything at all. Like, negative stuff gets more praise than positive stuff these days. And people just want to see you fail, and they want to see you fall into all these rabbit holes. Like, it's what you do with this situation. I'm in a position where I have to be careful about what I say, what I do. I have a daughter. That everything is on the internet now. And I don't want her to be 14 and looking at stuff where she's embarrassed to look at. Everything I put out, I'm very careful. And I just want her to know that I'm doing it for her, because she's going to be the best thing ever. And I know, regardless to what she does, regardless, I'm going to be proud of my daughter, and I'm going to make sure she has all the tools to be successful in life.
That's great. So you talked a little bit. My least favorite term in the world is the forbidden door. I hate it so much. But you talked a little bit about that. There's another Black woman. She's great. She's amazing. She's perfect along the same lines as Jade Cargill.
Yeah? Okay.
Along the same lines as Jade Cargill. Her name is Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill would be a super... I can't even put words together to describe this match. Money, most importantly.
Money.
How would you feel about facing off with the great Bianca Belair?
It will be great, being that Mark Henry has been the one to find both of us.
Right. Mark Henry.
Right. It'll be freaking phenomenal. I mean, if that ever happens, I'll be first to sign up. I don't know if it'll happen, obviously, with everything politically that goes on with wrestling. But I would love it to have another strong woman, another strong black woman in the ring with me. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to make money matches and dream matches where kids, little black girls can look at these matches and be like, like, damn, like this is crazy. Like this is crazy. I feel like a match like that, I feel like that would be a match for the culture. That would definitely be a match for the culture.
To say the least.
Yeah.
That would be a match for the culture because I'm sure she would put on a show like she always does, and I know I would put on a show.
Always.
So I mean, I would love it. I would love it. I can't say much more about it, but hey, it's something that I would love to do.
Well, Jade, I appreciate you taking the time to be with us here today on Grapsody. We pretty much since Grapsody launched have all been just the biggest Jade fans and supporters. You talk about haters, you're not going to find them on this show. I'm literally wearing a Jade Cargill shirt. Storm is coming right here under my hoodie. Like this is like we're just big fans, and
we have
love
some
seeing
things
you grow.
coming attached to Jade Cargill. Can't say a lot about it, but just know, Righteous Reg. Yeah, that's it. I can't say a lot about that. So things are coming, things are happening. Thank you so much,
Jade. Hey, and there'll be announcements coming up real soon about some great music coming up. On TZ also. But yeah, thank you so much, Jade, for being a part of Grapsody and being right here on Grapsody. Ladies and gentlemen, again, it is the TBS champion.
Undefeated TBS.
Undefeated. 26-0.
Yes.
Jade Cargill. Thank you for being here, Jade. We appreciate you.
And tell your daughter keep supporting it, and thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
No problem. You guys have a great day.
you as well.
All right.
We had Jade Cargill right here on the show.
Wow, it's crazy out here. I don't even.
Jay was getting them bars off, bro.
She was going for it.
Getting them bars off if y'all hate.
She's amazing. That character is really her, as you can see. Like,
yes,
she's really TBS. She's really all that.
Hey, I want to read a couple of the super chats. It says, shout out to a true queen of storm, Jade TBS Cargill, trial by fire, hateful keyboard warriors, having a family, the regiment of being a wrestler. I think that's what they meant. Shit, I doubt I could handle a third of that. Huge respect and keep living your life.
Man, and not just that. I mean, she is a black business owner. She has a master's in psychology. Like, she's out here, man. She's busy.
Physical trainer. She just, my God, she has so much. She's everything.
Let's see. Graham B said, every Saturday feels like the Rumble with Grapsody. Thank you, Graham. And Matthew says, if Cody is at the Rumble and you want a moment, he should come out as Stardust.
What is the you guys stop with the Stardust thing.
No,
that's over. This is Cody Rhodes now. If Cody Rhodes did go back to WWE Crazy Pipe Dream, Stardust would not. They wouldn't even They wouldn't even say S words around Cody Rhodes.
Yeah,
it's Cody Rhodes that traumatized him. You think they would bring him back to trauma? That sounds crazy.
Yeah, we got a couple more. Thank you. I love me some Sova. SOVA. Great interview. Take my money. And Ferthausen says, best show ever. Thank you.
That was really fun, man.
Yeah, and you notice that was notice it said number 1, Jade Cargill. We can't count here on the show. We actually move things in some certain order.
Numbers and shit.
Yeah. But couple more topics we wanted to talk about here because one of them was a big topic throughout the week. It was Adam Cole versus Orange Cassidy. Lights out match, unsanctioned match. I hate to say I told you so, but last week I said that Orange Cassidy was going to win that match and people were going to be big mad. I believe that was my exact words. Were big mad.
And right into your little trap.
People were big mad. The Adam Cole supporters, Adam Cole fans, not even fans, because they hate him now, right? They're like, Adam Cole is done. His career is washed.
I don't know if you can call them fans anymore.
Yeah,
they switched.
He'll never recover from this. Blah blah blah. Look, man. First off, predictable. Predictable in a number of ways. Orange Cassidy was going to win that match. Orange Cassidy had to win that match. That man had come up short at every single turn in this feud with Adam Cole.
Was his special.
Yeah, the feud. He had been feuding with Adam Cole now for 8 weeks, and in those 8 weeks, he never got over on Cole. The most best friends got over was when, I guess twice, with Trent having pinned Bobby Fish and Trent pinned Nick Jackson. But for the most part, Orange Cassidy had
Trent.
Orange Cassidy had been getting kicked in the balls, and he took the BTE trigger. He was coming up short. He got pinned. Like, he had to win at some point. Now, there is, of course, as I mentioned last week, a contingency of people who don't like Orange Cassidy or the indie type gimmicks like Orange Cassidy.
Like 90% of the AEW roster pretty much at this point.
I don't consider him that anymore, considering he has been on the indies for 3 years. And I don't know if you've been to an AEW show, but when I see kids, and like my daughter was one of them. My daughter at Road Rager. There's a shot during Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander's entrance when they faced Butcher and Bunny that they zoom in on a little girl dressed like Orange Cassidy. That's my kid. Kids love Orange Cassidy.
Yes.
And so, like, I don't even see him as like an indie gimmick any longer because he's been at this now. He's been on TV for years. This is somebody who wins. This is somebody who beat Chris Jericho he beat him twice, by the way. This is somebody who, I think, in case people forgot, AEW has had a number of time limit draws. They've had Brian and Kenny. They've had Hangman and Kenny, or Hangman and Brian, I mean. They had Cody and Darby. And one that people kind of forget about, Cody versus Orange Cassidy was a time limit draw.
That's right.
That Orange Cassidy had won. It was 1-2, and Orange Cassidy had Cody beat for the TNT title. Time limit expired.
Right.
Point being, Orange Cassidy is not somebody that hasn't been taken so seriously. I know is a word that would get picked apart because they'll be like, but he has a comedy gimmick. But he is somebody who has been seen as a threat. So him facing Adam Cole and being seen as on Adam Cole's level, to me, isn't weird. This is somebody who has been like this since AEW's inception.
Right. He's not a guy on IWTV anymore. He's got mainstream appeal at this point. Like, when you've got kids cosplaying as you, you're over at the live crowds. You're getting mentioned on Czarface records. Like, he's got mainstream appeal now. He's a star. He's one of the top baby faces in the company.
Top guy in AEW for sure. It's like he's crossed that level, that indie guy level that doesn't exist anymore. He's an AEW guy, if anything.
He is, and like, I mean, I don't know if you've ever been on AEW's YouTube account, but you look at, if you go popular uploads, number one upload is an Orange Cassidy video. It's like 23 million views. And I want to say, like, of the top 20 videos on AEW's YouTube, Orange Cassidy's like...
Yep.
Yeah,
for agree. Sure. If you sort him, like, he's in the top viewed matches. Like, the idea that people think that Orange Cassidy is just still some
code for the Wi-Fi, so they could talk about a timeline. Or show me pictures of their friends.
The best punch ever. Like, that was the best punch ever.
But yeah, so this match, of course, like I said, I saw it last week. You just looked at the match happening, and I was like, let's see. Unsanctioned match. Cole is probably going to be facing Paige at Revolution. It's unsanctioned, so this basically puts Cassidy in a position to win, but to not affect Cole's win-loss record. So then, therefore,
they said unsanctioned. The writing was on the wall.
Yeah, I was like, okay,
Cole is getting pinned to the match.
Cassidy wins, but
or
Cole
to the boards for this. This case.
And it's not even like out of the norm for AEW to have done this, right? Because they had Britt Baker win or lose to Thunder Rosa, but at the very next pay-per-view, she was the challenger for the title because she didn't have the loss on her record. Didn't matter. Either way, I had fun with the match. Like, I didn't think it was as good as the ladder match in the beginning, mainly because the ladder match was the ladder match, and
Right.
I
But
think
the Big Bang Theory effect makes a lot of
Big
more
Bang
sense
Theory.
now,
Yeah, now we're in a place where you want the match that's going to get the most eyes on first. Now,
Right.
So, is Punk and MJF going to open?
I would
maybe.
think so. You got to start AEW in Chicago with CM Punk. I would think. So.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But either way, people
Phil's
were
on
mad
the road,
about.
man. Are you going to be there?
I might have to pull up, man. I don't know, man.
There was a lot of anger over this one, though, and I wanted to talk about this for a couple of reasons. Phil brought up just the best point, and I almost don't want to steal it from him. I need him to say it, but I will give you the setup. I will tee it up for you, and you can knock it down. But there is a point people have been making a lot where they say, Adam Cole came in around the same time as Bryan Danielson and CM Punk, but he doesn't feel like he's on the same level as Bryan Danielson and CM Punk.
Yeah, guys. He's neither of those guys. He ain't Punk or Bryan. And I love Adam Cole, but
let's talk levels, big dog.
Punk is up here somewhere. His star power is different. Bryan is the greatest wrestler in the world. Like it's just not the same.
Right.
And I do think that to even say that he is taking a downgrade as a star, guys, he main evented that show. He comes out and he gets the loudest pop in most of the shows that he's on. He's not treated like any less of a star, but
Rampage is his show.
But to compare him to Punk, who came in straight away and got millions of views on his debut, no, it's different. We watched Cole on Backstage when Punk debuted tell everybody that he's a Punk fan. That's the difference here. Like, no, he's not going to be treated like Punk because Punk is Punk. Like, come on now.
I mean, we still have to acknowledge the fact that Cole, and this isn't to downplay Cole. Cole is about to main event Revolution. Cole is, as Reg just said, Rampage is kind of his show. Like, the fact that I feel like he's had the most Rampage matches, and like he opens the show, they bring him out, crowd does the boom. Like, he's somebody who is going to energize a crowd when he comes out. At the same time, this is also the guy who, he jumped from NXT. He didn't come over from having main event at WrestleMania like Bryan. He wasn't a guy who was a CM Punk level star and had, arenas chanting his name when he left. Like, Bryan and Punk are exceptional guys.
Punk's on another. Bryan isn't even on Punk's level for talking about levels.
I mean, there's absolutely. We're talking
somewhere else, man.
We're talking about one guy who has headlined WrestleMania twice, and you're talking about he hasn't come in on that level because he's not on that level. What are we talking about? And I mean, and that's not a knock at Cole, but he's just not. And I mean, I thought it said it all when Kyle was on Talk Is Jericho, I think, and he was saying, when he was watching it from afar, one of the big benefits of coming there and seeing how Bobby and Cole are treated, and they are coming out to essentially a takeover crowd every week. That's the difference in what he was doing on NXT, and I think people are missing that.
That makes a lot of sense too.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I get it. I can see, at least from a practical standpoint, that essentially I personally wouldn't want to see my number one contender lose going into a pay-per-view.
Right.
That part I can agree with. But if you are down on simply who he lost to,
that's crazy.
AEW's not even the show for you at that point.
Seriously.
That's what I'm going to say. That if your issue isn't that he lost, period, but that he lost to Orange Cassidy, again, Orange Cassidy is going to be around a long time. Like,
speaking of people hating Orange Cassidy, another person in this match kind of along the same lines that just debuted.
Hey.
The old Danhausen got pulled from under the ring. I think people are going to feel exactly the same way that they feel about Orange Cassidy about Danhausen.
Now,
that whole run, they're all going to be connecting these things, so it's going to be a lot.
Now, that all depends, because Orange Cassidy was a guy that when AEW first launched, he generated a lot of laughs, right? But I think it was, honestly, the match with Pac that, changed a lot of the perception and narrative around Orange Cassidy. That all of a sudden it was like, oh, wait a minute. This isn't just like a gimmick. This isn't just something for laughs. That when it's bell time, he goes.
He can go.
And so
I don't know if
I feel
Danhausen's the same.
I don't know if Danhausen has that. I hope that.
I hope so.
I hope that's the case.
But that's not really his shtick. Like even when like in his matches, he doesn't get like pumped up to the super intense wrestler guy. He like goes comedy, full 100. You know.
But so did Orange Cassidy in a lot of ways. Like, you know, I saw Orange Cassidy at a number of indie shows where, and granted,
that's true.
Orange Cassidy was also performing as Fire Ant back in Chikara as well. But either way, Orange Cassidy had he had been performing, you know, at a comedy level at indie shows. Anytime I saw him, he got all the laughs, right? But really, like I said, it was when it came time to turn it on, he turned it on, and I feel like that got people to come around on Orange Cassidy a lot. Yeah. I wonder if, and I want to commend this particular match for that fact that Orange Cassidy, the first thing he did was he broke the sunglasses, and
that's his character. I get that people don't get the humor because I've seen people tweet this several times. I don't get the joke. His entire character is he is unmotivated. When he gets out there, he does the little kicks. It's because he's unmotivated. But when he is motivated, he puts on banger matches. That's his whole character.
And I liked that in this particular story, he was not in the mood for Sloth style stuff at all. Like that was like the moment the bell rang,
he's like, it's a fight.
Yeah, it was a fight, and he was in intense mode. I actually liked it. But yeah, as far as Danhausen is concerned, I don't know. I know there are people who are concerned, but you know what? He got a reaction, and
almost 1 million views already.
And he's not going to be main eventing Rampage. Like he's not going to be like the guy. Just like there's a place for everybody in these things, man. And he's over, man. Like every time PWI, every time Fightful, like the comments are filled with Danhausen fans. Like, where's Danhausen? We're like he has a lot of fans, more than guys that have been signed before him have. Like he has a nice little space in the wrestling scene that is going to benefit from being in AEW. It's going to benefit everybody. So if you don't get it, it's not really for you to get. I see that a lot this week. Like, I don't get it. Like you don't have to get every single thing that happens on wrestling shows. There's a lot of stuff that I don't get that I don't like, but like, it's not for me. I just wait till the thing that I like happens.
And AEW is particularly that, right? Because AEW is not necessarily a show where things in the show really string together. That it is a segment-based show where like you see a segment, you see a segment, you see a segment, you see a segment, and they don't necessarily all string together in a sense. So it's like it is almost the ultimate variety show in the fact that you are going to see some things you may like, some things you don't. Or you may like everything you see, or you may dislike everything you see.
When the Gun Club comes out, I'm out. I'm OUT. I'm zoned. I'm checked out.
You don't check in for their theme music?
No,
their theme music is actually dope. Honestly.
And I love AEW, but I can't. I don't like when they did that finishing thing last night on Rampage with the Jurassic Express. I was like, oh God, we have to see the Gun Club in a match.
I'll say this though, because I tweeted it last night. I think Jurassic Express is low-key having a great tag title run. And the way they're doing it is just tag defenses. It's just like, because I think they're going to have, because my theory is that they're going to have a fairly short run. I think they may even lose it at Revolution.
The competition is just, there's too many great tag teams in AEW, honestly.
But if they are going to lose at Revolution, then for now, just give them a banger title run. And the way you do that is just defense after defense after defense after defense. Where it's like,
Washington, who are they going to lose to is the question.
There's options, right? Because
there's so many options.
You go Proud and Powerful.
I want it to be the Acclaimed, honestly. The Acclaimed
has been working pretty hard. Yeah, they've been working pretty hard.
They got options, and there are places
Red
they
Dragons
can go.
there now. They have so many.
So I don't know, but I will say that because also. They kind of reinvigorated FTR over the last 6 months.
Yeah, they did.
There are places.
Black, it's tough out there in the tag division.
Tough, right? But
Private
like I
Party,
Top Flight.
Yeah, I'll say Darius is going to come back soon for Top Flight. Like,
So what I want to see Jurassic Express continue to do is just continue to run through the list of run through the top 5.
Just keep doing this on Rampage.
5. Yeah, keep doing it. Dynamite, Rampage. Just keep doing the title defenses until it's time to lose them. And I think even if it's probably the shortest run of the tag titles that's ever been had, at the very least, Jurassic Express could be remembered as a team that held the belts and just banged through opponents. And I like it so far already because I thought the match with the Dark Order was great. I thought Private Party, I got to see traces of the Private Party that I fell in love with 3 years ago.
I was really surprised how excited I was to see the Red Rope again.
Right.
And them come out, and they had a great match. Look, I think Private Party is essentially going to turn face at some point. They're going to be a great face tag team champions.
They planted seeds a long time ago when they beat the Young Bucks. Like, those seeds are still planted for them to excel with. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Hey, let's read some super chats again. Monique says, "Can't believe you guys got to interview the president of TBS, King Shit."
I'm saying.
Andrew says, "That interview, smiling in awe, crying, been a Jade fan since I started watching AEW. You, Grapsody, bring the stars
The
out."
Humper Chats. Have we seen the Humper Chats? That's the thing. They're probably stacked up. I don't know how.
No, I can't get to the Humper Chats here at my hotel. I am so sorry about the Humper Chats.
We're gonna have to do another Grapsody.
I know. I feel like I feel like we could honestly. And Julian says, "First super chat ever. This is for the inspirational Jade. Love what you guys are doing here."
Joel saying he sent you a DM with the doc.
Oh,
Joel Pearl from
cool.
Pearl.
You know what? Yeah, so that just shut off my camera. Trying to pull those
in
up.
the Wi-Fi, hotel Wi-Fi.
No, it's because I'm using I'm doing the show off my iPad, right? So I can't
because of the arches. They fuck. I heard the arches, the St. Louis arches. They fuck with Wi-Fi.
But no, I did. You're right though.
Something about the thing going up. Or
okay, so I have to pull these up on my mobile, and we will.
Shout out to Will's new show, Dad, because he is a dad, and sometimes his dad things come out.
Yeah, I will be hosting Day After Dynamite, Dad. But let's open this. We are going to Joel. I just requested access because you didn't give me access to it. But so as soon as I have that access, I will open up the Humper Chats.
Run through those.
Yeah. Adrian says, "If you end up in a gimmick match against the best friends, it's game over."
That's a big point to bring up. Anytime there's a gimmick match, best friends are gonna win it. That's their specialty.
But they have had some great gimmick matches, man.
They have. Mm-hmm. You know,
it's really great to see Trent back too, because he just looks awesome and he's cool. Best friends, we didn't talk about them as the tag team too. That's another tag team. Even within their little unit, they could have 2 or 3 little tag teams. So. It's the tag team division. I was saying a couple of weeks ago on Twitter that it might be time to have a tag team tournament with all these tag teams.
It's definitely time.
It's stacked.
Alexander says, "Gunn has grown on me. They're still geeks, but they've gotten better at implementing their characters in the story of their matches. Still green, though."
I didn't want to see Billy Gunn in 1998, and I don't want to see him in 2022.
God, this is Billy.
Yeah, seriously. The Rock was
this is Bob, but my name's Billy. It doesn't matter what your name is. Oh my God!
Man.
Okay,
that was so messed up. The Rock just destroyed. He didn't have to do that.
Derek is right here. All I'm gonna say is that Andrade Darby segment was gold. Andrade is hilarious. Look, man, Andrade not understanding that Darby doesn't work for Sting is the funniest goddamn shit. Like I thought it was already hilarious with the Tony Schiavone segment where he's like, where is the little boy who works for Sting? And he's like, hilarious. He's like he doesn't work for Sting, and he's like, how you know? Like that's so good.
How do you know? We don't know.
Like I have had so much that segment last night of Darby basically giving the big impassioned response of I lived in my car, and I'm not scared of guys like you. And Andrade just okay, this isn't working. We need to find your boss.
Yeah,
where's your boss?
I need to talk to the real boss here. No,
that was hilarious.
This is you can see. You don't need any subtitles. You don't need a translator. You don't need anything. Just let Andrade. All he needs is 3 sentences, and he's gonna knock it out of the park.
Honestly,
that's exactly what he's
I
been
thought
doing
so when he had that promo with Cody. That was where I first noticed. I was like, you know what? Keep it short and sweet. And I think Andrade actually delivers on the mic. And I think this Darby stuff, because I think it's clear he's probably going to face Darby at Revolution. That's going to be a dope match, by the way. I'm here for it.
Where's your boss is so funny, though, man. He was just clowning.
So I do have Humper Chats. We've got Wrestle Voice. It says, donation is just for you guys being real for the culture. You guys share how you grind. You support our culture and just not draw from it conveniently. You are what we as a culture need to be for each other. Y'all keep eating, and I will be there supporting.
I really appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, I really appreciate that too. And
today was really for the culture. Jade Cargill,
Jade Cargill.
Yo, come on, man.
And you know what? Shout out to Chris Mueller, the doctor.
Shout out to Chris. Yeah,
Chris actually set that interview up, and did that just really. He didn't have to do that, and he did that for us, and I really appreciate that. Chris Mueller, Bleacher Report.
Hey, man, you guys might not know this. I don't know if I told this story on this podcast, but I wouldn't be at Bleacher Report if it was not for Chris. So, I am all the time saying eternally grateful to Chris. He's done us so many solids. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Shout out to Chris, man. He's helping the Grapsody boys out hugely. We appreciate you.
Dennis Dirtywork says, people need to deprogram themselves of the mainstream idea that comedy characters are jokes in and of themselves. Yes. Big differences between the ways WWE and AEW present character and ring work. Love the show, guys. Big love. But here's the thing.
Their champion does comedy. Like the former champion, Kenny Omega does comedy wrestling. Like their main guys, their top guys do comedy, and it's not presented as their big dorks. It's people think they're big dorks when they do it, but they're not presenting it as their big dorks doing it.
I just don't like the selectiveness of it because when you really boil it down to what mankind,
because the New Day is doing comedy. Let's
even keep it current though. RK Bro.
This is a comedy act.
Yeah, it's a comedy act.
They just had a fucking spelling bee on. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at The Rock, what The Rock is known for, he's known for the catchphrase and all the stuff. It's a comedy act. His hottest moments as heel Hollywood Rock that people love, it's a comedy act.
They got the laughs. Hey, so
even a lot of what Stone Cold did, a lot of what John Cena did, a lot of this was comedy.
The Thugonomic stuff, it's the same thing. Comedy. It's meant to be comedy.
So last couple of things, because I just happened to catch my battery percentage and it just hit me with the 10. So I'll read a couple more things. Irene says, comedy acts like OC and Danhausen make some fans feel ashamed of watching and betrayed because AEW is supposed to be serious wrestling for them. I don't remember them ever saying that, by the way.
No wrestling is serious, guys. That's the thing here. No wrestling is serious.
It's wrestling. It's and at the end of the day, it's two people in their underwear fighting in a ring in the middle of a big thing. Come on.
Ryan says, just want to say you guys rule. I had you on while I shoveled snow, and you provided needed entertainment. Big stars get big interviews. Thank you so much, Ryan.
That's what some would say.
Kieran says, why are you so crazy? Andrade killed me with that. Matthew says, I'll codify my pitch. He comes out at Stardust, then dramatically washes it off with a sink that comes up with his entrance. Also, second neck tattoo.
Boom. That's how you codify it up. Perfect.
So, last thing, this is actually the number 2 topic. So, we are going to talk about why we're here. The Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble, St. Louis, baby. We got Seth Rollins going one-on-one with Roman Reigns for the WWE Universal Championship. Seth Rollins has Roman Reigns' number in title matches.
Yep.
And he kind of cooked my man in that promo segment last night.
I like what Seth Rollins has been doing, because he's kind of taken Roman out of the element that he's been in for this entire run. He's gotten Roman off of being the super confident world champion to being like, wait a second, this guy, what? He's like played the mind games correctly for the character of Roman Reigns. So it's going to be super interesting to see what they do. Rollins has a good chance, man. Rollins has a good chance.
I actually think
he's going to win.
I think he is.
I think so too.
We could all have egg on our face. Bobby Lashley,
Roman.
Not I, because I told you guys.
So Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. Okay, look, I have concerns in that I feel like I have not liked the way Bobby has come off here in the way that Brock has been dismissing him.
Yes.
The only way I could
made Bobby into a fanboy. And
like
Brock's
the only
get off
way,
me, you little fanboy.
the only way I could be good with this is if Bobby wins. But otherwise, the fact that Brock's like, Bobby who? Like, if this match goes short and Brock wins and he's been saying all this shit to Bobby Lashley, I have concern. And he did it in a cowboy hat this week, which, like, look, if you're not black, this probably doesn't mean as much to you. But when you see guys in cowboy hats who have said negative shit to you and practically have like, if you've ever had somebody in a cowboy hat say the word boy to you, like, it makes you feel a certain way, right? And so, like, Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, I mean, yo, the truth is the truth. Shout out to Matt Hardy.
I don't know. The way
it does have a tone to it, like he's talking down to Bobby.
And I wasn't liking any of that, and I feel like it reminds me a lot. It's not quite the same.
Earn your spot, boy.
Yeah, and it was rubbing me the wrong way, and I feel like if Bobby loses on top of that, it's a bad look.
Because he's losing. Bobby's definitely losing.
Right?
I will bet my house on Bobby Lashley getting his shoulders pinned to the mat today.
I would love to be pleasantly surprised, but I don't see it happening.
But I've been kind of brewing in my brain that both of these guys lose their championships today.
Mm-hmm. So, really?
I don't know why, but I can see it. Both of them going out. So
and
it's interesting.
Also, we've got so Women's Rumble. We gave our predictions. I said, I think we all said Rousey, right?
Rousey,
if she's in it. If she doesn't show, I mean, I hope the answer is Bianca. I hope the answer, because that story still has to be answered for. Of like, if we just move on and Bianca doesn't get her one-on-one match with Becky Lynch and it's starting to feel like she's not going to, then that story's climax point was SummerSlam.
Right. In the same vein, I feel like if the only thing we're going to with the Naomi stuff is to just beat her clean in a random TV match, what was the point of months of that? Like, that's got to build up to some pay-per-view feud. If she's not winning a Rumble or at least getting a title match out of this or something, that feels very pointless.
Yeah. So I don't know. I say if Rousey's not in it, Bianca, but I also don't see Rousey getting eliminated. So
and they're still looming Bayley. Looming. No one really knows anything on what's going on.
I could see Bayley maybe not winning the Rumble, but coming back and winning like whatever other number one contender thing they do for Charlotte.
My prediction for Bayley, if she's in it, is she is not going to win, but she's going to eliminate Lita.
Charlotte. Oh, Lita. Oh.
And that's going to set up the match for WrestleMania.
Lita. Yeah, we all like that.
That's good.
We all like that a lot.
And then we also have Dewdrop versus Becky Lynch. I mean, Becky Lynch wins that. But it could be good. I think it'll.
Hey, I'm happy for Dewdrop. Like,
shout out to Dewdrop. She earned this.
She's fantastic.
I can't believe she still has that awful name, but shout out to her.
Hey, man, she's great. She's extremely positive. Really, really good wrestler. I think this is a good spot for her. I think if nothing else, the match is going to be good. Hopefully.
My other dark horse pick was Lacey Evans because they like the blonde women's. They love them blonde women's. They love them blonde women's.
Oh man, hey, it's the Royal Rumble though. It's tonight. It's exciting. This is one of the most exciting events of the year. I always have fun with the Royal Rumble. This is another year where I'm gonna have fun with the Royal Rumble. I want to give a big shout out to our guest, Jade Cargill, for being here on Grapsody. Thank you again, Jade Cargill. I can't say enough great things about just having talked to Jade Cargill. We did that. We had the TBS championship on this show. Do you understand that right there in that bottom corner, right over there where that Grapsody logo is right now?
She was next to me.
She was right. Hey, before I switched them, because when she first came on, it was backwards. She was even in that box.
I'm saying,
man,
she is fine. She looks good. She's fine. She's confident. She is just, lucky man, her husband. Jeez,
man. So I made the joke that it looked like I thought the coolest thing about her being her is it felt like she was fresh off the win. Like she had the title win belt on. Yeah. She had the title shirt on. Wow. I was like, this is dope.
She brought the belt, y'all. We are out here. Come on, man.
We had the TBS championship on Grapsody,
and she gave it up too. She's trying to fight Brandy. She's trying to fight. She is ready for the smoke. I loved it. It was perfect. So good.
So happy. folks, thank you for being here for this edition of Grapsody. Hey, if you're in St. Louis, hit us up because I'm going to be around. Phil's around. Reg is going to be watching at home.
I'll be watching, tweet me.
Yes, tweet. But yeah, holler at us. Because I have a feeling, like, I'm trying to go get something to eat. All I ate before this was airline peanuts, so I am ready to get some actual food.
That brother is starving.
So, so Phil, if you were down to go get lunch, like right now,
yeah. I can eat.
Yeah,
y'all gotta fill up after what we just did, man. Come on.
Yeah, so let's go grab something to eat, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Grapsody live from St. Louis, Missouri. I'm Will Washington, and actually, you know what? Let me make sure that I got through every super chat. Just a couple more. R. Dickinson says Jade was excellent on the pod, but she needs to do more. Okay. Myron says, who you guys got for Iron Man / women and surprise NXT entrant for both Rumbles?
Surprise NXT for the men, I'm guessing Gunther. For women, I'm guessing Io Shirai or Dakota.
Yeah. And I could see Charlotte, because she's ridiculous, doing the Iron Woman thing and not winning.
Yep. And Chris says, this was an awesome episode, fellas. I'll be at the Rumble as well. Hope to see y'all there. Thank you, Chris.
Rumble, baby.
And thank you for being a part of Grapsody today. I'm Will Washington, for Phil Lindsey, for Righteous Reg. We will see you next time. Have a great afternoon. Peace.
Peace.